Imagine a place, a library, not just any library, but the greatest collection of knowledge the ancient world had ever seen. This was the Library of Alexandria. It held scrolls filled with the wisdom of countless minds, documenting everything from the movements of the stars to the intricacies of the human body. Philosophers, mathematicians, and astronomers from across the known world gathered here to study and expand the frontiers of human understanding. It was a beacon of light, a testament to our species' relentless curiosity and our drive to comprehend the universe around us. This library was more than a building. It was the intellectual heart of an entire civilization, pulsing with discovery. But this incredible repository of knowledge is gone. It didn't simply close its doors. It was lost to history, most famously through a series of fires and conflicts that spanned centuries. When its scrolls burned, it wasn't just paper and ink that turned to ash. We lost entire branches of thought, scientific treatises, epic poems, and detailed historical accounts that we can never get back. Think about it. We lost the sequels to famous plays we now study as solitary masterpieces. We lost astronomical charts that might have mapped the heavens with a precision we didn't achieve again for over 1,000 years. The loss was catastrophic, creating a void in our historical record, a chasm of silence we've been trying to bridge ever since. This destruction plunged parts of the world into what some call a dark age. Progress slowed. Ideas that were once debated in the great halls of Alexandria had to be rediscovered, piece by painful piece, centuries later. What if the steam engine was described in one of those lost scrolls? What if early theories of medicine, far more advanced than we realize, were detailed within its walls? The burning of the library wasn't just a loss of the past, it was a theft from our future. It set humanity back on a course that could have been vastly different, delaying discoveries that might have changed the very fabric of our modern world. This gap in our collective memory has led to some fascinating and provocative ideas. One of the most intriguing is the phantom time hypothesis. This theory suggests that the loss was so profound that we might have even lost track of time itself. It posits that a significant chunk of the early Middle Ages, nearly 300 years, was fabricated, added to the calendar by rulers for political gain. While this is a fringe theory in mainstream history, it highlights a deeper truth. Our understanding of the past is incomplete. We are working with a puzzle that has countless missing pieces, and the Library of Alexandria holds many of the most important ones. Let's engage in a thought experiment. What if the loss was even greater than we imagine? Some have speculated that it wasn't just a few centuries of phantom time we're missing, but a full millennium, 1,000 years of human history, art, and science wiped from the record. This is a radical idea, one that challenges the very foundation of our timeline. If this were true, it would mean that the date on our calendars is wrong. Today, on July 13th, 2025, we would actually be living in the year 3025. All of our historical landmarks, from the fall of Rome to the Renaissance, would be shifted forward by 1,000 years. Think about the implications. If we are truly living in 3025, it means that the so-called Dark Ages were not just a period of stagnation, but a complete fabrication designed to cover an immense historical void. The stories we tell ourselves about our slow climb out of antiquity would be a lie. It would suggest a conspiracy of epic proportions, or a collective amnesia so deep that humanity simply forgot 10 centuries of its own existence. This idea forces us to question everything we think we know about our journey as a species. It transforms history from a steady, linear progression into a fractured narrative with a massive, unexplained gap right in the middle. This concept, while not accepted by historians, serves as a powerful metaphor for our relationship with the past. It speaks to the fragility of knowledge and the ease with which it can be erased. Whether 1,000 years were literally lost or not, the burning of Alexandria represents a symbolic loss of that magnitude. We are adrift in a sea of time, navigating with charts that have huge sections marked, "Here be dragons." We piece together narratives from fragments, trying to construct a coherent story from the echoes and shadows of what was left behind. The idea of a missing millennium is a dramatic expression of this fundamental uncertainty. So, as we proceed with our cosmic journey, let's hold this thought. Let's imagine for a moment that our calendar is off by 1,000 years. This isn't just an academic exercise. As we will see, the shifting of time has profound connections to ancient prophecies and religious beliefs that have shaped civilizations for millennia. It ties into stories of darkness, rebirth, and a cosmic schedule that some believe is ticking towards a momentous conclusion. The mystery of our past may hold the key to how some people interpret the future, and even the end of days. To understand this connection, we must travel back in time to the year 33 AD. This is the year many historians and theologians place the crucifixion of a figure known as Yeshua, or Jesus of Nazareth. The story is central to Christianity. After his death, the narrative says he was laid in a tomb, and on the third day, he rose again. This third day is not just a detail, it's a cornerstone of faith, symbolizing hope, renewal, and triumph over death. It represents a period of waiting in darkness, followed by a glorious return to the light. This pattern of 3 days of trial followed by redemption is a powerful motif. This theme of 3 days of darkness is not unique to this story. We can find echoes of it in older traditions. In the Hebrew Bible, in the book of Exodus, the story of Moses tells of a plague of darkness that descended upon Egypt. For 3 days the land was shrouded in a darkness so thick that it could be felt. It was a period of intense suffering and uncertainty, a profound disruption of the natural order. Only after these 3 days of darkness did the story move towards its climax, the liberation of the Israelites. Once again, we see this pattern, a 3-part period of trial and waiting, followed by a monumental event. Now let's introduce another crucial piece of this cosmic puzzle. In various religious texts, including the Bible, there's a fascinating concept about how time is perceived by a divine being. A passage in the second epistle of Peter states, "With the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day." This is a profound statement about the relativity of time. For a cosmic, eternal perspective, the slow march of centuries that we experience could be fleeting, like a single turn of the celestial clock. This idea invites us to see human history not in human terms, but on a grand cosmological scale. What happens when we combine these ideas? If a day is like 1,000 years, then the third day of the Yeshua story takes on a whole new meaning. The first day would be the first millennium after his death in 33 AD. The second day would be the second millennium. That would bring us to the year 2033. According to this interpretation, the year 2033 would mark the beginning of the end of the third day. It would complete a 2,000-year period of waiting, echoing the 2 days Yeshua spent in the tomb, setting the stage for a prophesied return or a major transformative event for humanity. This convergence of timelines, the missing millennium, the allegorical 3 days, and the 1,000-year day, creates a compelling narrative for those who seek patterns in history and faith. For them, the year 2033 is not just another date on the calendar. It represents the culmination of a 2,000-year cycle, the end of the third day. This framework provides a sense of order and purpose to the chaotic sweep of history. It suggests that we are not living in random times, but are part of a grand unfolding prophecy that is nearing a critical juncture. It transforms current events into signs and portents of something immense on the horizon. Of course, from a scientific perspective, this is an exercise in pattern seeking, not prediction. The human brain is wired to find meaning and connect dots, even when no connection exists. We see faces in the clouds and constellations in the stars. Tying ancient prophecies to specific dates is a tradition as old as prophecy itself, and so far, every prediction of the world's end has been incorrect. History is shaped by complex social, political, and environmental forces, not by a pre-written cosmic script. However, dismissing this idea entirely would mean missing the point about what it tells us about the human condition and our need for narrative. The real value of this story is not in its predictive power, but in what it teaches us about ourselves. It shows how we grapple with immense concepts like time, loss, and the unknown. The story of the missing millennium whether true or not, speaks to our anxiety about lost knowledge and the fragility of civilization. The belief in a cosmic timeline reflects our deep-seated desire for meaning and our hope that history is heading towards a redemptive conclusion. These are powerful human impulses that have driven art, philosophy, and science for our entire existence. Ultimately, whether we approach this as a believer, a historian, or a scientist, the tale leaves us with profound questions. What does it mean to lose the past? How does faith shape our perception of time and our place in the cosmos? And as we stand at what some consider a momentous threshold, what can we learn from these ancient stories about how to navigate the future? The universe is full of mysteries, but perhaps the greatest mystery of all is our own relentless quest to understand it, to find our story within its vast silent expanse, and to look towards the dawn of each new day with a sense of wonder.